Brookdale Television is live tonight from the Robert J. Collins Arena in Lincroft, New Jersey, as the Brookdale Jersey Blues men's basketball team getting ready to take on the Community College of Philadelphia Colonials. It's Brookdale versus Philadelphia coming up next here on Brookdale TV.
Shot uses the window for two. Drives inside and gets it to go. Oh, what a move by the freshman.
Back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena, Tim Kenofamo alongside Brian Gownswood as we welcome you to another presentation of Brookdale basketball here on Brookdale Television tonight. It's just a single game matchup between the Brookdale men's team taking on the Community College of Philadelphia. Brookdale has won 5 straight coming into this, while Philadelphia has struggled this year, losing their last game to Northampton. We'll get into that in just a second, but Brian, Brookdale has been on a hot streak lately, and it seems like every single player on this team steps up at the right time, and they've just been on a roll these last several games.
Well, I think that's the big thing that stands out over this 5-game winning streak that you were talking about. And this 5-game winning streak is the 3rd streak of at least 5 games for Brookdale this season. So they've had their good times this season. But you mentioned all the players that have been doing the job. Last game, their leading scorer had 14 points, but they still put up over 90 in that game. So it was a good performance top to bottom, and looking for another one here at home.
So now let's go down to the court as we get started for tonight's action. Now, interesting to note about Philadelphia is they only have 6 players here. In fact, the game was originally supposed to start about 25 minutes ago at 6 o'clock on the East Coast. Philadelphia just got here about maybe 20 minutes before that, so not only did they have a long trip from Philadelphia, but they only have 6 players here. More in a little bit later in the game. They've been plagued by injuries this year. Opening tip goes out of bounds, and they'll go to Brookdale. The starting lineup for Brookdale, you saw the graphic pop up, but we'll just read it to you just again. Kerry Kirkwood, Kyle Bradshaw, James Wright, Sky Harris, and Jordan Little. While on the other side, you see Anthony Harris, Keelan Wynn, number 5, Javrice Thomas, Demir Smith, and Isaiah Jones. This is James Wright with the ball. Now back over to Kerry Kirkwood. Philadelphia in a 2-3 zone. Wright's shot on the way, no good. Kyle Bradshaw got a hand on it, but it's scooped up by Kerry Kirkwood, the rebound. Sky Harris now top of the key 3. No good, and the rebound pulled down in the corner by Anthony Harris, who probably be someone that we'll be saying a lot of this evening.
Yeah, you're right about that. He comes in averaging 23.5 points per game for this Colonial team, so he is the single player Brookdale has to be cognizant of on the defensive end.
Demir Smith kicks it out to Keenan Wynn in the corner, got his own rebound and goes back up with it. It's no good, and the rebound pulled down by Sky Harris. And now Brookdale now looking to push. Wright finds Bradshaw underneath the basket, and he lays it in, and Brookdale's on the board for the first time.
You know, looking at this Brookdale starting lineup, it's something that you brought up before the game started, but we see James Wright out there, and it's interesting because just the last game, Paul Chisak had told us he was comfortable with him coming off the bench, but immediately he's inserted back into the starting group.
Javrice Thomas is no good from the jumper in the paint. Now right up ahead, nicely drive to the basket, and he lays it in with the right hand. Brookdale now has an early 4-0 lead. But yeah, we talked about how James Wright is someone that Paul Chisak told us last game that he likes to have come off of the bench. He's in the starting rotation this evening. Possibly a little bit of a different strategy being played as we have a whistle, and there'll be a foul on Brookdale. Be on Jordan Little underneath the basket. Our officials this evening, Moran Hendricks, Gerard Devine, and Kristen Cintron. Long 2 there by Isaiah Jones is no good. 5-on-4 opportunity for Brookdale the other way. Wright again with the right hand, lays it in.
Yeah, and 5-on-4 evolved into a 3-on-2, and a perfect dish from Kirkwood to Wright for the transition basket. Brookdale in business early on.
Anthony Harris with the ball. Now he'll pull up for a 3 and knocks it down for Anthony Harris. Brookdale did not close out on him, and now Philadelphia is on the board for the first time tonight. 6-3.
It has to be tough for this Philadelphia team, talking about them with only 6 players on their roster, yet even with that, they have a 16-9 record coming in, so this is a team that can be competitive.
It's really been a bunch of injuries that have plagued this team throughout the year. The game was originally supposed to be held, this matchup in particular between Brookdale and Philadelphia was actually supposed to be held back in January. However, the men's team had to cancel and postpone the game until tonight because of the fact that they didn't have enough players to make the trip. So injuries have just been Achilles heel for this team this year, as Jordan Little is no good on the foul shot from the line. The foul is on Javrice Thomas, his first personal, and the first on the Colonials. Jordan Little, the 6'9" sopper from Jersey City, New Jersey, 1 out of 2 from the line. It's a 7-3 lead for Brookdale. And as opposed to what we saw in the last game, Brookdale is in a man-to-man defense. Last few games they have gone zone. Ball partially blocked. Jones back up with it. And the Little Jordan rebound to Jordan Little.
Yeah, they went with a lot of zone the last game against Cumberland because Cumberland was a team not as much of a shooting team, more Brookdale's kind of style where they drive to the rim. So the coaching staff felt that was the best way to attack them.
James Wright has been on a hot streak the last few minutes. He's now got 7 points, 1 3 and 2 easy baskets at the rim. After that shot from the corner, now we had an offensive foul here on Anthony Harris, who pushed off on James Wright.
And that's a way to answer the bell for Wright back in the starting lineup, get off to a big start offensively. We saw him make a couple of transition baskets, and then previously the long ball from the corner.
Little right at the left elbow, driving inside and travels. Knocked down Keenan Wynn in the process. Inbound here to Wynn. Again, if Brookdale can win out, they will clinch a first-round bye in the Region 19 tournament that is coming up at the end of February. Spinning inside is Isaiah Jones, and he shuffled his feet.
Yeah, and I think Brookdale's positioning is pretty secure with that number 2 spot in the Region 19 because they are a few games in front of the teams behind them that are holding the 3 and 4 spots. So if they keep on winning, they'll have a bye to start the tournament.
Passaic, the top team in the conference. Brookdale split the games with Passaic earlier this year. Harris inside in the paint, left it short, and rebound to Demir Smith. Harris lost it through his legs, but was able to gather it back up. Now it's poked away from behind by Kyle Bradshaw and taken away by Kerry Kirkwood. Sky Harris along 2 if it goes, and it knocks it down for Sky Harris.
So Harris has the jump shot working early. Previously he hit a 3. That time steps into the 2-point try, and it's nothing but net. Very good offensive start for the Jersey Blues.
In the corner is Wynn, right in front of the Brookdale bench. Coach Chizek has been on the bench sitting this entire time, has not had to get up once. Harris inside, ran into Wright, lost the ball, got it back, and now Kyle Bradshaw the rebound. Philadelphia has not been able to get anything going on the offensive side. Wright ahead of the field. Little tried to put it back in. It's no good. Blew the dunk. And now here comes Philadelphia up the floor. Wynn in the corner. Will drive in on Bradshaw. The layup no good. Little double teamed underneath the basket. Still loose on the floor. Jones comes up with it. Threw it up at the rim. No good. But the rebound put back in by Wynn.
That was very good persistence by the Colonials as Brookdale just unable to clear the defensive glass, and finally they're able to cash it in.
Kyle Bradshaw now will try his left from the corner, and he drains the 3.
Now, a lot of times we see with Bradshaw, he'll get the ball along the perimeter, pump fake the jumper and drive. That time though he was just too open and knocks it down.
Harris blocked away by Sky Harris and Jordan Little. It was a joint effort there. And coming into the game is Zavon Richardson.
So
Zavon Richardson, that is.
There you go. You had Harris on the drive, and Sky Harris gets the rejection defensively.
And now we have a slight tie-up here as James Wright We were making fun of him for his shoes last game, or 2 games ago, as we were commenting on some of the Jersey Blues pair of shoe wear. Wynn from the left elbow right elbow is fouled by James Wright. As there is Joe Rome. See the graphic pop up, 5th season as head coach. Took this team to the Region 19 championship game and actually beat Brookdale by 1 point last year, 55-54, to clinch a berth into the national tournament. As Wynn at the line hits the first foul shot. Comes in here shooting 85% from the line. 1 out of 2. 14-6. Brookdale again with the early lead. Harris flips it over to Bradshaw with the reverse layup, and he lays it in easily. Kyle Bradshaw has done a nice job so far in this game.
And that time off the nice setup by Harris. He got the ball in the paint, could have taken it himself, but dishes it off to Bradshaw, who gets the up and under layup.
Harris again at the foul line. Left it short. Rebound back up and in for Jerice Thomas. Wright finds Harris at the foul line. Too strong. And it's going to go to Philadelphia. There's going to be a foul underneath on, I think they're going to get Jordan Little with his second personal, as Little's going to check out of the game along with Sky Harris. Bunch of players actually coming out, James Wright and Kyle Bradshaw. So the only player who remains on the floor for Brookdale is Kerry Kirkwood. Jordan Hernandez, Zach Olakani, Matt Ringel, and Teray Gatling come in.
And we see this sometimes with Brookdale, where they'll have an entire new group. I've called it Team B on the broadcast at times when they go with that strategy.
Harris knocks down the 3 from the right arc, right in front of Coach Chizak. Philadelphia's now cut the lead to 5. Kirkwood tries to answer back. Rebound the Wynn. Wynn pushing in the paint, stopped. It's going to be a jump ball, and it'll stay here with Philadelphia. There is Coach Chizak. In his 25th season, feels pretty good, feels that the team can win out. We have spoken about that a couple times if they execute the right way.
And he first brought that up after their tournament down in Maryland, that he thought the final, it was probably 7 or 8 games. He was confident they could win all of them, and so far they have been up to that task.
Turnover there for Philadelphia. It'll give the ball back to Brookdale. Ringel looking to try to go inside. Now this is Jordan Hernandez on the baseline. Back to Gatling, who lost the ball. And now Wynn picks it up for Philadelphia. Splitting the defense. Wynn out of control. Flips it over to Richardson underneath the basket. Richardson grabs his own rebound. Shot clock resets. Harris straight on 3. Too strong, and Gatling the rebound. Now here comes Olakani at the rim. Lays it in over Harris, and it's going to be a blocking call on Anthony Harris.
Yeah, I think the whistle came a shade late, but it is a blocking foul on Harris. And Olakani just showing no fear as he took it right at Harris and gets the and one opportunity.
So Olakani will be at the line. Let's take a look at this last basket here. Watch this. I don't know about that, Brian. Didn't look like Harris really set his feet.
And for Harris, it's his second. Of course, him being the Colonials' leading scorer, and with them only playing with 6 players, they can ill afford to have him in early foul trouble.
Olakani way too strong on the foul shot. It's a 7-point lead, 18-11. Philadelphia did not start out the game all that well, but has had a little bit of a resurgence the last few minutes, and out of bounds there is Demir Smith, who dribbles it off his foot. Another turnover early on for the Colonials. Gatling finds Hernandez. Now Hernandez on the baseline, left hand, layup, no good, but he's fouled. Another late whistle. And for Philadelphia, we'll see who the foul is going to be on.
And that's exactly why Joe Rome is showing that reaction on the Colonials sideline, because the whistle came a second after you expected it. Nonetheless, Jordan Hernandez will take it. He's at the line.
Foul is on Isaiah Jones, his first and the team's fourth. Hernandez at the line for a two-shot foul. Again, too strong on the first attempt from the line. Hernandez, the 6'2" freshman from Passaic, New Jersey, missed them both. Watch this last replay. Obviously is a foul, but the official did not blow the whistle till about a half a second afterwards. Shot clock starting to wind down here for Philadelphia. Harris with 10. Over to Smith. Now down low to Jones. Bunch of bodies getting in there to block that shot away, and Gatling comes away with the rebound. Gatling kicks it out to Olakani, back to Kirkwood, wide open for a three. No good, rebound pulled down by Smith. Wynn now driving right at Ringel and goes over the backboard. And it'll stay Brookdale ball. Sky Harris will come in for Kerry Kirkwood, who goes to the bench for the first time.
Now, it certainly appeared that there was contact that came from Ringel on that last drive to the basket, but no foul called, and Brookdale takes possession.
And for Philadelphia, they cannot afford too many fouls because they only have 6 players here suited up to play. Whereas Brookdale, we've talked about many times how deep their bench is, not just in the number of players, but with the amount of talent. Hernandez rims out from the three from the corner.
Yeah, they can go 11 deep on any given game, and any of those 11 players that come into the game are capable of making some kind of an impact for this team.
Harris spinning his way inside the floater, short. Rebound, Richardson lays it in. And Coach Chuzak will take a quick timeout. 18-13, Philadelphia is hanging around in this game with 10:27 left here in the first. You're watching Brookdale Television live tonight from the Robert J. Collins Arena.
For nearly 50 years, Brookdale graduates have been shattering expectations. They transfer to Georgetown and Columbia University. They work at NASA, call Major League Baseball games, and defeat celebrity chefs. They prove, again and again, that a college is only as good as its success stories, and ours speak for themselves. This is Brookdale. This is college redefined. This is success reimagined.
Back here in the Robert J. Collins Arena, Tim Califano alongside Brian Goudsworth, the rest of our BTV crew on the call this evening here on Valentine's Day. And so far, we have a close match between Brookdale and CC of Philadelphia. As I said a moment ago, Philadelphia did not start this game all that well, but has had some resurgence the last few minutes and have closed the gap that Brookdale had on them. Harris gets his own rebound underneath and is not able to convert. Now here comes Philadelphia up the floor with Anthony Harris, runs right into a wall with Matt Ringel not flinching, and it's a clean block by Ringel. It'll officially be called a jump ball, and it'll stay here with Philadelphia with 25 on the shot clock.
Yeah, that's good defense by Ringel because he doesn't pick up the foul. He gets all ball to force the tie-up, and they have to inbound.
Anthony Harris now from the corner. It is good, and it's a three, and now the Colonials are within 2. Olakani picks up his dribble, now over to Harris with 17 to shoot. Ringel, bounce pass inside to Gatling. Couldn't finish. And now Keenan Wynn with the ball. To Thomas. Blocked away by Gatling, and here comes Olakani with the rebound. Up ahead Hernandez, one-on-one, lays it in.
And that's something that Jordan Hernandez was doing a lot of early in the season, getting out in transition, forcing turnovers himself, and he really had a good impact coming off the bench, even got in the starting lineup a few times as well, so Brookdale needs to get that back.
Wide open underneath is Jones as the defense collapsed there for Brookdale, and he easily puts it in. It's a 2-point game. However, this is a different team so far than we have seen for Brookdale, I don't really see a whole lot of energy. Usually in a close game like this, you see much more energy out of this team that like to run the ball up the floor and run an up-tempo offense, but so far not so much the case. Harris the other way is bumped, and he'll be fouled. We'll see if they're going to get Zach Olakani or Teray Gatling. I think they'll get Olakani here with his first personal, and they will. So it's the 14th foul for Brookdale. To the bench goes Zavon Richardson. And now a foul. This is going to be on Olakani again. No, they're going to get Hernandez instead. I thought Olakani may have gotten a second personal. It's the first on Hernandez, and now Brookdale's got 5 team fouls. Harris and Hernandez will go to the bench. Kerry Kirkwood comes in. James Wright also back on the floor for the Jersey Blues. Shot clock resets for Philadelphia. Smith now handing off to Harris. Harris into the corner for a win. It's a 2 if it goes. No good. Rebound put back up by Thomas is nicely put in by Javrice Thomas.
And the big thing for this Philadelphia team is they've gotten even now in the game, as they've gotten a number of rebounds on the offensive glass, creating second and third chance opportunities, and now have the score back even.
Olakani is fouled along the baseline as he was driving to the basket. They are going to get number 34, Isaiah Jones, with his second personal. Inbound to right, wide open in the corner. Gives off to Kirkwood. Now back to Wright, who pulls up a long 2, way off the mark. Ringel the rebound, puts it back up with contact underneath. Third chance opportunity for Ringel. Now fourth chance blocked away. It'll stay here with Brookdale.
And I'll tell you what, the officials are definitely letting them play a little bit down near the basket, because it seemed they could have called a foul on either of those attempts by Ringel right underneath the basket, but letting him play a little bit.
Again, Philadelphia's only got 6 players here this evening, suited up, ready to go. Kirkwood a long 3, drains it for Kerry Kirkwood.
And that's just a great design play, because Kirkwood was the inbounder, threw it out to Olakani. Kirkwood spotted up from the perimeter and nails the 3.
Thomas, nice find to Smith. Now Harris a long 2, and didn't even hit the rim. Got all backboard on that. Right, the rebound up to Olakani, out of control in the paint, but he's fouled. And Olakani's claiming that he was in the act of shooting. The officials, though, will call the foul on the floor. And coming back in will be Richardson for Jones for Philadelphia. Teray Gatling will check out for Kyle Bradshaw. Kirkwood tries to get it in, just barely beats the 5-second clock. Bradshaw now, nowhere to go. Back to Wright with the drive inside. The nice layup with the right hand. Didn't even use the glass. And now Brookdale back up to a 5-point lead.
Yeah, nice little swoop to the hoop move that time by James Wright as he got into the paint, gets it to go.
And now it'll be a 30-second timeout called by Philadelphia. Let's take a look at this last shot by James Wright while we have a moment. Watch this. Nice. So again, we'll stay here. It's a 30-second timeout. As there are the shoes that we were talking about with James Wright. And as you zoom out a little bit, you see Sky Harris there with what looks like the neon purplish colors. That's on the other side for Philadelphia. I'm trying to see who that is. That looks like that's Zavon Richardson. Our shoes, I mean, we're just wearing dress shoes. I mean, nothing special, but...
Yeah, I don't think we can get a shot of ours.
These guys, well, you better not, because I haven't polished mine yet, so... That's a no-go on that shot. But really stylish, you know. Brookdale knows how to...
Well, this whole shoes thing started when one of the players for the opponent had those neon green.
Yeah, it was the last game that we did.
Cumberland.
It was against Cumberland. I believe it was Aaron Smith, if I'm remembering the name correctly, had the neon yellow-colored shoes, and that brought up a huge discussion about shoes and basically everything else having to do with fashion. Rebound underneath to Richardson is good after Thomas fell down to the paint. Philadelphia still hanging around, down by 3. Wright finds Bradshaw, back to Wright. Bradshaw, cross-court pass to Olakani, goes over Richardson. Is it going to be an offensive foul on Olakani? It will be. Nice charge there by Richardson, and for Olakani, now that's his second personal, and the team's 6th.
And we've talked about that Olakani's role has really grown on this team the last couple of weeks. He's been in double-figure scoring a lot of the time of late, and he's doing it well whether he's starting or coming off the bench, one of the Brookdale's key contributors.
Yeah, Olakani, along with Sky Harris, led the team last time against Cumberland with 14 points as Wrinkle just gets a hand in the face of Wynn and cleanly blocks it away. Now Olakani at the other end is blocked, and it goes off of Olakani's leg back to Philadelphia.
Yeah, and that was Smith, who did a great job getting back in transition. Not only did he get a piece of it, but he knocked it off Olakani to give Philadelphia the ball.
It's a block made by Smith there, as you mentioned, Brian. Nice job by Philadelphia getting back on defense. 25-23, under 6 minutes left here in the first half. Going by very quickly after the game was again delayed 25 minutes due to Philadelphia having some unintended traffic trying to enter New Jersey and then eventually get here to Lincroft. 9 to shoot for the Colonials. Harris hands off to Thomas with 4. Harris has to put up a shot from the foul line. It's too strong. Ringel the rebound, and now here comes Brookdale up the floor. Wright, the jumper, rolls off the rim, and the weak side rebound to Smith. Wynn finds Richardson, but Richardson couldn't handle the pass. Now Harris waits for Wright to go around him after the pump fake, but he was an air ball on the 3. Now right ahead of the field, lays it in with the right hand.
And when Brookdale has it going in transition, they just know how to beat the defense on the other end of the floor to create easy baskets like James Wright just did.
Smith to Wynn. Richardson pokes it away, but he couldn't get it to one of his teammates. Now Brookdale up the floor with Kirkwood and blew the layup. It was actually blocked away there by Smith. Now here's Thomas right at Ringel to Richardson. The floater is good.
Yeah, and we've seen Smith a couple of times in transition come away with blocked shots. He is one of the big shot blockers on this team, averaging 2 a game.
Harris along the baseline, spinning around. Nicely job done by Sky Harris. Off the glass and in. That was an incredible shot.
He was able to keep the pivot foot down and work his way around Richardson that time for the bank shot.
And now a foul inside on Sky. So after completing a great basket at the other end, he commits the foul. Watch this. Look at this move here, and then off the glass and in.
And he
right on the bigger Richardson.
He loves to use the glass too, whether it's on that jumper from the elbow area or in transition. That's his friend.
So it's the first personal on Harris, the 7th on the team. 1-and-1 opportunity missed by Smith at the line. Brookdale still clinging to a 5-point lead. Kirkwood along 2 if it goes, and it does for Kerry Kirkwood.
And the way this half has evolved is a little different than usual for Brookdale, because how many times have we seen them trailing in the first 5 minutes of games? That was not the case. They got off to the good start. Philadelphia was able to get even at 20, but Brookdale now back with a 7-point lead.
We talked about it in the last game as Bradshaw intercepts it, feeds it up to Wright at the other end, who throws it down with one hand. James Wright has had a phenomenal first half after starting in the starting rotation. Brookdale now leads by 9. And you mentioned it, Brian. This team has definitely started this game much better than the last, I would say, several games, as it almost seems like it would take a couple minutes, at least 10 or 15 of gameplay before the team really got into their mojo, so to speak. But not so far tonight. They have, from the opening tip, been on the ball no pun intended.
And even with that being the case, I think you have to credit this Philadelphia team with the circumstances, only 6 players, to be within 9 at almost the halftime break. I think they have to consider themselves fortunate where they're at.
Bradshaw inside is fouled. And we'll see who the foul is going to be on. It's going to be, let's see, they're going to get Javrice Thomas with his second personal. At the line, Kyle Bradshaw, 6'5" freshman from Tinton Falls. 1-and-1 opportunity, hits the first one. He'll get one more. Watch this again. Inside for Bradshaw. Samson Orianatolo is on the floor for Brookdale. First time we've seen Samson on the floor this early on in the game, I think all season.
Yeah, and he's Brookdale's other big, along with Jordan Little, that 6'9" presence down near the basket.
34-24, Brookdale starting to slowly creep away. And now inside, Thomas, double dribble. Actually, I believe they called that a jump ball. Possession arrow was pointing Brookdale's way, so it doesn't matter. Up ahead, Harris able to outbeat Kerry Kirkwood to the ball and lays it in at the other end. There are 2 Harrises on the floor. Sky Harris for Brookdale, who just knocked down another 3, and Anthony Harris for Philadelphia.
And Tim, Sky Harris is working on a streak of 15 consecutive games where he has hit double-figure scoring. And that's incredible because before that streak started, he was actually held under 10 points in 6 straight games. So his season has taken a big turn for the better.
Demir Smith is fouled right in front of Coach Chizak while shooting a 3 by Kerry Kirkwood.
And that is always a no-no, and that's why Paul Chizak cannot believe it there on the sideline. 3 free throws for Smith.
Coach Chizak's been pretty calm so far in this game. Hasn't had much of a need to jump off the bench as his team has played pretty well. Now we're going to have a substitution here for Philadelphia, as I believe Anthony Harris checked out, and in for him is Keenan Wynn.
Meanwhile, Smith missed all 3 of those free throws.
Another turnover there for Brookdale. It'll go back to Philadelphia. Orianatolo was the one who lost it out of bounds on the last possession. Approaching 90 seconds left here in the first half. Brookdale with a double-digit lead. Win to Thomas at the foul line, and an offensive foul here on Thomas. Wow.
Yeah, I had the same reaction as you because I thought Thomas made a nice move around the much bigger defender, Orianatolo, but called for, I guess, extending the arm on that drive. Let's take another look.
Well, maybe he does wrap his hand around Orianatolo, but it's just very slightly. And for Thomas, that's his 3rd personal. He's now back on the bench. Kirkwood in the paint, floater off the back rim, off the glass rather, and in. 39-26. Harris guarded by Wright, and Wright literally stripped the ball out of his hands, and then Harris picks up a quick personal foul as Wright would have gone the other way and easily laid it in. There was nobody back there for Philadelphia. And because now Philadelphia, that's their 19th foul, this is still a 1-and-1 for James Wright at the foul line. Brookdale's maxed out with team fouls at 10.
And for Harris, he now has 3 personals, which is obviously a big story, him being their lead offensive weapon.
Wright knocks down the first foul shot. He'll get another one. 6'3" from Trenton, New Jersey. Wright makes them both. Matt Ringle's going to come in for Sky Harris. Harris shaking hands, getting ready to sit down on the bench. Now this is Anthony Harris with the ball. Put up a wild shot, and the rebound pulled down by Wright. Lost it from behind. Ball still loose. Harris gets it. And Coach Chizak is very unhappy with James Wright, as I believe Philadelphia was the one that called a timeout there. So 41-26, Brookdale with the ball. We'll keep it here with 37 seconds left, as this has been an interesting game. I believe it's actually going to be Philadelphia ball coming out of this timeout, rather, not Brookdale ball, as Philadelphia was the one that called the timeout. And for Brookdale, I'm really not seeing a whole lot of energy here, Brian. They've been fairly lax, but they really haven't had to turn on the jets, so to speak, because they've been in control of this game from the opening tip.
Yeah, it's interesting to point out that the energy level isn't at its normal level, and yet you look up at the scoreboard and Brookdale has a 15-point lead. So that just shows you how good this team is, how deep they are, that even when it doesn't appear they're playing their best, they're still capable of winning games.
There's a 7-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Philadelphia will have it underneath with Smith inbounding with a fresh 30. And now the officials are going over to the scores table to make sure of something, possibly to either reset the shot clock or put it at a certain number. Looks like that's what they're trying to do. They're going to actually move the shot clock now down to 26. Here we go, Smith with the inbounds. Wynn, a long three, and he hits it at the top of the key. Keenan Wynn. Brookdale can now hold for the final shot, 41-29. Brookdale in no hurry here to get off a shot. Kirkwood with 7. Over to Bradshaw. Bradshaw shuffled his feet. And they'll give the ball back to Philadelphia with 5 seconds to try to get one more shot off before the half. This will be Smith inbounding, giving it to Harris. Harris with 2, with 1. May have walked there, doesn't get the call, and no good on the basket anyway. 41-29 the score, as Brookdale will go into the locker room up by double digits. But Brian, this has really been a little bit of a shocker for both of us, because we were expecting a lot more up-tempo energy from Brookdale in this game, and particularly waiting for this team to kind of gel in the opening few minutes, but both of those things have been wrong. They started out the game really well, and they've been using a type of ball movement on the floor that's been very slow, very methodical, but they're making it work against Philadelphia so far.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's important to point out too is the way they started this game, because so many times we've talked about the first 5 minutes of the game, this team has started out trailing, and that wasn't the case. And against a team that only has 6 players playing, you want to get off to a good start that can build your confidence going through the rest of the game. So they have to come out in the second half, start strong again, and finish off this victory.
Philadelphia is struggling with not only points on the floor, but also with fouls. 2 of their players have 3 personal fouls so far in this game. Again, they only have 6 here suited up to play, as as Brian mentioned just a moment ago. So we're going to take a break here on halftime. Again, Tim Catafamo alongside Brian Gadsword. We'll be back for the second half live here from the Robert J. Collins Arena tonight on Brookdale TV.
My name is Chad Anderson. I am Department Chair of the Communication Media Department. I'm also a faculty here who teaches audio and video production courses. In addition to that, I work freelance quite often on weekends, on summer break and winter break, working in all aspects of video production. I have a number of different skills and development in shooting, in editing, in directing, in visual effects, in audio production. So I've worked a number of places, including CNN, including the Meadowlands Sports Complex, done some work for the CW, worked for various different training facilities and production houses, and most recently have been doing a number of projects for the U.S. Army and for the Count Basie Theater. I teach predominantly the video and audio production courses, as well as video editing, visual effects, animation. In this field, I try to keep abreast of as many different areas of study and areas of expertise as I can, so I'm constantly learning new things and incorporating those new things in my courses and developing new courses. So we've recently developed new courses in sports broadcasting and some advanced courses in visual effects. I teach a lot of technology and a lot of advanced technology, including camera operation, directing, technical directing, editing, compositing, a number of things. I had always thought my life was going to go in a different direction and I was going to be more working in New York or working in the field or working somewhere else, but I fell in love with getting to show new people new things. And every semester it's a blessing that I get to show new people something new I learned. Brookdale really welcomes a number of students who are passionate about this, or as passionate as I was when I was a student, and that's a wonderful thing to see. I get to be involved in their development in their lives, and they've gone on to do amazing things in the field of technology and in the field of broadcast, work at major networks or on major films, and I get to say that I was kind of part of their development. I've taught at other schools. Brookdale students, they're energetic, they're eager, they're motivated, they have passion and they take initiative, and they are surprised by things, which is one of the things I love about teaching. I love showing a student something and then seeing their surprised face as they didn't know this could do this. I think we have a really strong program. I think one of the strengths of the program is that all the people who work here and all the people involved in here are working professionals. We are academics, we are instructors or professors, but we also work in the field. And I think it's important that what students experience here and the opportunities they get here is they get to work with people who are doing this on a daily basis. I'm working weekends and summers on different productions in different places. I've worked on film shoots, on television shows, in news. I do a lot of this stuff regularly, and I work with a lot of professionals. So if I'm telling a student something, it's not because I read it in some textbook or saw it in some magazine or read some article about it. It's also because this is what I encounter day to day working in this field. And I think students in this facility get a real-world education about what really goes on here and what really goes on in media production and audio and video production.
Young Lee, Colts Lake High School, guard.
My name is Kyle Bradshaw. I'm a guard from Manasquan High School.
Tariq Gatlin, Patterson Eastside, small forward.
James Wright, Ewing High School, shooting guard.
Zachary Olukani, Teaneck High School, guard.
Dante Whipple, Old Bridge High School, small forward.
Samson Oriana Tolo, Mount Regional High School, forward.
My name is Sky Harris. I'm from Cardinal McCarrick High School, and I'm a forward.
Hi, my name is Jordan Little. I'm from Perth Amboy Tech High School, and I'm a power forward.
We are the Kirkwood Twins. We're from Neptune, New Jersey. He's point guard. I'm shooting guard.
Matt Ringel, Marlboro High School, forward.
We are Brookdale men's basketball.
Go Blues!
Planning a large-scale event or conference? Consider Brookdale Community College and its versatile Collins Arena. The Collins Arena is the premier venue for all kinds of corporate and community events. Live concerts and celebrity happenings, trade shows and expositions, sporting events and tournaments. The Collins Arena has countless layout options to meet your needs. Bring your next event to life at the Collins Arena at Brookdale Community College. Go to brookdalecc.edu/events and start planning your next event now.
Looking for quality higher education at an affordable price? You'll find it at Brookdale Community College, with locations in Lincroft, Freehold, Long Branch, Neptune, Hazlitt, and Wall, and online options that let you study anywhere. At Brookdale, you can train for a new career, earn a diploma, and transfer to a 4-year school hassle-free. Brookdale has small classes and approachable faculty, an honors program, academic support centers, a full student life experience, and nationally ranked sports teams. Visit brookdalecc.edu and start your success story today.
It's the week before finals here at Brookdale Community College, and students are running around hoping to pull together a big A on their final exam, but a few of them are here in the Bankier Library choosing relaxation over stress by taking a step out of the student's life and into the dog's life.
Well, this is an annual event that we do. Actually, we do it every semester. Around exam time, it's therapy dogs in the library for students to come in and staff too, just to have some fun, to relax, pet the dogs, play with the dogs, and kind of relieve some stress.
Oh, you are so cute. I'm in so heaven. Oh. High five. You're so cute.
You know, everybody needs those study breaks, and it's a way to take a study break without having to get distracted at the same time.
So that petting a therapy dog before finals is supposed to reduce all your stress, and it works. It actually works. This is, I think, the 4th year that we've been here, and finals are next week. Students will come. They will de-stress with petting a therapy dog. The dogs are trained. They're certified by an organization called Bright and Beautiful. We're all volunteers. We're also all the owners of these dogs. It's a wonderful, wonderful program. It's a win-win. The dogs love to be petted, and the students get to enjoy a puppy without, owning them.
My name is Amy Clark. I'm one of the librarians here, and I am the coordinator for this Therapy Dogs event for Anti-Stress Week. I feel great about the turnout. It is usually one of the most popular events in the library. This is the first year that I am coordinating it, and I'm really glad that we have as much interest as we do.
You never know what finals are.
I am a biology major at Brookdale, and I just finished my practical, and I was so stressed out, and I was supposed to go home, and I was told that there were dogs coming to the library. So I immediately came back, and I am so happy right now. I have panic attacks all the time from schoolwork and stuff, so this is the best thing ever.
So much special attention.
I just think it's a fun experience for them. If you're a dog person, it's great. If you're not a dog person, it's hard to not walk by and still want to give them a pet. And it's hopefully it'll get students to kind of relax at this time of the year that can be very, very stressful for them.
What do you like about humans? What do you think of this event on campus?
Like a lot of people, I thought community college was a backup option, a discount education. But now, I can't imagine starting anywhere else. Brookdale challenged me. I had the tools and the faculty I needed to grow, both as a student and an engineer. Today, I'm transferring to a prestigious university and finishing a fellowship at NASA. I'm Nick Sikowski, and I came to Brookdale to save money on college. I never imagined it would be the smartest move I ever made.
It's that time of the semester when students are cramming for finals, but don't freak out because it's also Anti-Stress Week here at Brookdale. One event going on for Anti-Stress Week is happening right here at the Bankier Library, where students can pet some therapy dogs that are trained to help you relax and de-stress. They can take a break from all the chaos to drink some coffee, breathe, and just have some fun. You don't want to miss out. Let's go check it out.
I'm Steve Chudnick, director of the Bankier Library, and this is something we have during finals time every semester. It gives students to come in, just a chance to forget about their studies for a few minutes, pet some dogs, have a little coffee, a little bit of water, just relax for a little bit. And who doesn't love dogs? It's just crazy. I've never seen as good a program as this for students. They just love it.
I brought back all those names. I'm Carol Plato, and I'm Molly's mom. I'm also her personal driver. We have a little limo outside for her. And this, I believe, is our 4th year here. She started when she was a year. She was trained, and she loves coming. She loves the students, too, because they're so nice.
The one thing I look forward to.
I think they really have to be smart and love people and want to do this, and she does. We enjoy doing it and love coming to Brookdale.
This is my first year at Brookdale, and when I heard about this event, I immediately wanted to go because I love dogs, and I also have a golden retriever, and I ran over to this dog, and she's adorable, and I feel really happy right now, and it's a really great event for Anti-Stress Week.
I'm a second-year student at Brookdale Community College, and when I saw this on the student website, I thought, I love dogs. You know, it's very stressful this time of year since exams are coming up and everyone's trying to pressure to get the best grade they possibly can. And just seeing like these adorable animals, that it just brings the stress level way down, and it's something I'm glad to be a part of.
I've never been this happy in my entire life. I feel great, and I love dogs too, but I'm so sad that I'm allergic. But it's so good to see everyone happy because of them. So I can feel the good vibes, and I can feel the good aura that people are getting from these wonderful dogs.
There are so many events for students to take part in during Brookdale's Anti-Stress Week. You can receive free massages and meditation bowls at the SLC, as well as partake in a stress management workshop. Check out a free screening of The Secret Life of Pets, or join in a virtual gaming experience and oxygen bar. Last but not least, students can come together for a snack and study session at the library. You don't want to miss out on all the fun. Please visit our website at brookdalecc.edu to find more information. I'm Sophia Parola with Brookdale Television. Thanks for watching.
With both my sons entering college, I knew financial aid was going to help. I never thought I would qualify too. I enrolled in Brookdale's culinary program and discovered a world of talent I never knew I had. After graduation, I landed an externship with David Burke's Fromagerie, and they hired me a month later. My name is Debbie Doran, and I came to Brookdale to learn a new skill. I never imagined it would take me this far.
A 350-hour comprehensive training program that prepares you for an entry-level position as a hemodialysis technician. Hemodialysis technicians assist patients with end-stage renal disease or permanent kidney failure to receive safe and effective dialysis treatments. The program includes 100 hours of hands-on practice in a fully equipped lab, clinical shadowing at area outpatient facilities, and job assistance. This training prepares you for 3 national certifications, including the Bonnet exam. The program is offered in collaboration with MK Education. The following prerequisites are required: high school diploma or GED, clear criminal background check and drug screen, CPR certification.
Back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena, 41-29 is the score, as the Brookdale Jersey Blues again hosting the Community College of Philadelphia Colonials tonight. As you see some of the players warming up, getting ready to go. Brookdale has been, let's say, in control for the majority of this game, but it has been a really slow-moving game so far. The energy and the up-tempo offense that we're used to seeing out of Brookdale has not really shown its face so far in the first 20 minutes of play. And it's been surprising to really watch how relaxed all the players are, including the coaches. Coach Chizek in particular are on the sideline. So Tim Catafamo alongside Brian Goudsward getting ready to get things started again. And Brian, I think I summed it up pretty well, but anything else you're seeing? I mean, it's just been a very slow game.
Yeah, I think one thing coming out in the second half, Brookdale has to make sure they defend Anthony Harris well. He's their leading scorer. We saw his ability to shoot the ball from the outside, also get to the rim. So he's the guy they have to focus on, averaging 23 points a game. If they can do that, I think they'll be fine coming out here in the second half.
So we'll see how Brookdale comes out, the 5 that'll come onto the floor. Coach Rome for Philadelphia. His team is struggling this evening as, again, they only have 6 players here. They arrived late, had to warm up in a hustled way, and it's always harder to play when you are not set, so to speak, and you have to really kind of hustle to get things going before the game starts. I know that from past experience, and really it's just not been there. However, Philadelphia tied the game at one point midway through the first half, and with the exception of Brookdale going on a run the last couple of minutes to close out the half, they have been in this game. So we'll see how it starts and how things play out in the second half.
Yeah, the game was tied at 20 apiece, so you look at from that point on, Brookdale's outscored them 21-9.
Colonials on the floor with Wynn, Harris, Thomas, Jones, and Smith. Foul on Brookdale. And it'll send Keenan Wynn to the foul line. Take a look at this last foul here. Ooh, yeah, definitely. That was Jordan Little. Wynn at the foul line. No good on the first attempt. That's Little's 3rd personal. And Coach Chizek is going to keep him in here.
And he's just a guy who it seems like the fouls just find him when he's in the game. He just always seems to be in foul trouble.
He's a big target at 6'9". And certainly a crucial player that Brookdale needs in that low post area. Harris double teamed out to Kirkwood for 3, and Kerry Kirkwood opens up the second half for Brookdale with a 3. 44-30 now. Brookdale increases their lead to 14.
And good recognition by Harris. As you said, the double team came on him, was able to notice that, find Kirkwood for the open 3.
Harris tried to answer back with a 3 of his own. It was short. Got his own rebound. Little now tracks it down for the Jersey Blues. Up ahead to right. Now Harris in the corner for 3. Off the mark, and the rebound pulled down by Demir Smith. Ooh, and Keelan Wynn got slapped as he was on his way to the basket. You heard it all the way up here. And the foul is going to be on Sky Harris. That'll be his 2nd personal.
And very quickly, 2 team fouls called on Brookdale just over a minute into this second half.
So Keenan Wynn at the line. First attempt is good. Philadelphia comes in here shooting 64% from the line as a team. For Wynn, he's an 85% foul shooter, and he knocks them both down. Colonials looking to stick with the 2-3 zone, open up the second half as Little, the foul shot, or the shot, excuse me, from the foul line is no good. Now Wynn down low to Thomas, guarded by Little. Thomas spinning his way inside and off of the low block. A nice job by Javrice Thomas. It's a 10-point game. Right, the jumper short. And Thomas the rebound. Here comes Philadelphia. Harris in the paint. Had it partially blocked by Bradshaw. And now going the other way is James Wright, who hands off to Harris for a jumper. Rolls off the rim. And now the rebound, the Win. Up ahead to Isaiah Jones. Everybody touching the ball in that possession, and almost too much, as it was almost another turnover there for Philadelphia. It'll stay here, though, with the Colonials.
And this has been some back and forth basketball the last few possessions. Up tempo, but at least on the last possession for each side, unable to cash in.
Inbounding underneath is Smith with a fresh 30 for Philadelphia now. Wynn back out to a wide open Jones for a three, and Isaiah Jones connects from the left arc. Bradshaw right in front of his own bench. Feed down low to Little. Thomas, offensive foul, Jordan Little. And for Little, that is his 4th personal, so now he's going to have to come out of the game. And in for him is Matt Ringel.
Yeah, I mean, really not much of a choice for Brookdale at this point to leave Little out there with 4 personal fouls, so he's forced to the bench and Ringel in to take his spot.
Thomas, the player that Jordan Little went over the last time down the floor, find inside to Smith, and Smith too far underneath the basket to connect on that shot. Ringel now the other way lays it in after the feed from Harris.
Great look by Harris. I thought he was going to take that mid-range jumper, but changed his mind, found a cutting Ringel who gets the bucket.
Anthony Harris off the glass and in. Count the basket. No, is it going to be an offensive foul? No, I was right. Official was holding up several different fingers, and I was trying to figure out what that was, interpreting what that meant. But it will be Anthony Harris at the foul line now to try to complete the three-point play, and he does. Fouls on Kerry Kirkwood, his second.
Well, Paul Chisek was pleading the case of it being an offensive foul, but the officials give him no satisfaction.
It's a 6-point lead for Brookdale. Ringel couldn't handle the rebound. Wright lost it underneath, and now Wynn takes it away for the Colonials. Wynn, coast to coast, back out to Harris, wide open for a three, and he hits it. Philadelphia is now within 3 of Brookdale, 46-43.
Yeah, and it's a 6-0 run by not only the Colonials, but by Harris. And that time he was able to elude Bradshaw defending on the perimeter and buries the three.
Brookdale's only scored 5 points since halftime. Harris, the mid-range jumper in the paint, no good. Ringel forces it up, and he is fouled after fighting for that rebound with 3 bodies on him underneath. And the foul will be on Jameer Smith, his second. Let's watch this again underneath. See Smith there commit the foul on Ringel. And now Matt Ringel, the 6'6" freshman from Marlboro, New Jersey. Too strong on the first attempt. Ringel's second attempt on the way and good. So 1 out of 2 for Ringel. Breaks a scoreless drought Brookdale had been on the last minute or two. Getting ready to check in is Zavon Richardson for Philadelphia at the next opportune moment. Harris fadeaway from the right elbow, no good. Ringel fighting there for the rebound, tracks down another rebound for Matt Ringel. And now Wright the other way. The acrobatic move inside doesn't go. Wright may have got hit in the face. It's a 5-on-4 opportunity the other way. Nice find underneath to Jones, who missed the layup. It rolled out. Jones' own rebound again doesn't get the close shot to go. And now Bradshaw with the rebound is fouled.
Yeah, and that's really a missed opportunity for the Colonials because they had a chance right underneath the basket. I mean, point-blank range, and they just could not get the shot to go.
Zavon Richardson, you saw him there on a monitor wearing those sports glasses, checks in for the Colonials as Isaiah Jones came out. Shot there by Sky Harris is off the mark. Bradshaw takes the charge. As Anthony Harris ran right into him, they had a horrible collision at midcourt. And on the receiving end of that was Bradshaw, but he took the charge, and it's an offensive foul on Harris, his 4th personal.
And it's very rare that you see an offensive foul at that point on the floor. Normally they occur closer to the basket, but Bradshaw gets the benefit of the call.
Harris way too strong on the attempt from behind the arc. Rebound, though, put back in by Smith, and now a timeout called by Joe Rome for the Colonials. We will take a break. 15-13 remaining here in the second half. Brookdale leads by 2. Back here in the Robert J. Collins Arena, 15-13 remaining. See the score on the bottom of your screen. Tim Calafamo alongside Brian Goudsward. The second to last regular season home game for the Jersey Blues. The Brookdale men's and women's teams will have their season finale for the regular season this Thursday against Ocean at home for a 5 and 7 p.m. tip-off time before both teams have to travel down to Middlesex County College to close out the regular season. On the women's side, they are still vying for first place in the Region 19 conference. And here on the men's side, Brookdale, even if they win out, will still finish second in the standings prior to the region behind Passaic. But they will, if they continue to win out, get a first-round bye. Right, no look pass to Harris, now to Ringel. Back outside the right with 20 to shoot. Ringel from the corner. Back iron, no good. Bradshaw the rebound, no. Ringel, third chance opportunity, goes over Javrice Thomas. And it's a blocking foul on Javrice Thomas. So for Thomas... No, excuse me, I'm sorry. It's not Thomas was the one on the floor, but instead they're going to call the foul on Keenan Wynn, his first personal.
That's a bit of a surprising call. I thought for sure it was on Thomas, who fell to the ground on the hit.
Kirkwood, a long three. Yes, Kerry Kirkwood has played really well in this game so far.
And Kirkwood is the Jersey Blues' best option shooting the three ball. You just can't give him that much space. He's going to take that jumper and make it more often than not.
Wynn now with the ball. Bounce pass was kicked by Matt Ringel. It'll stay here with the Colonials. Wynn, feed inside to Thomas. Another kickball here on Kirkwood.
How often do you see that on one possession?
Shot clock is at 15. It resets. Remember, that's the rule, that if there's a kick ball, the shot clock automatically resets to 15 if it's under 15 seconds prior to that. Philadelphia is, though, going to have to get off a shot here fairly quickly. Thomas to Richardson. Fadeaway is no good. Weak side rebound to Bradshaw. And now Kirkwood will set up the Brookdale offense. Wright open for a three. Thinks better of it, drives inside, nifty move, switches hands and lays it in with the right hand.
And Wright very easily beat Harris along the perimeter. That was just an overmatch as James Wright coasted to the rim for the easy layup.
Handoff almost botched there by Harris and Wynn. Harris now inside, lost it, got it back and lays it in. I think he used Matt Ringel's chest to kind of brace the ball, picked it right back up and laid it in.
Yeah, that was kind of a broken play. It looked like Ringel was going to be set to take the charge, but Harris never delivered the hit and instead makes the shot.
Nobody there on defense for Philadelphia as Bradshaw easily lays it in on the low block. Wynn, another dangerous pass. Smith, the jumper, doesn't go. Rebound, Wynn, up with it and in. And now a foul here at midcourt on Keenan Wynn. And Philadelphia, that doesn't have that many players here, is not doing themselves any favors with these fouls at midcourt.
Yeah, and already now with 5 team fouls in the half, they've been able to hang around, though. Amazingly enough, Brookdale lead is only 5.
Ringel. Cross-court pass to Harris. Thought about a 3. 17 to shoot. Ringel over Thomas. Blocking offensive foul, rather, on Matt Ringel. Coach Chuzak is livid on the sidelines. He is very irritated. It's a first on Ringel. And for Thomas, it's actually a break because Thomas would have picked up his 4th personal. Coach Chuzak hasn't had a whole lot to say. Now he's got something to say. Teray Gatling is also now on the floor for Brookdale. Checking in for Bradshaw. Richardson lays it in.
How about the pass that time from Keenan Wynn? He just flipped it, no look, and they get the easy 2.
Kirkwood way off the mark from 3. I don't think Kirkwood even set his feet. Now the other way, blocking foul called on Sky Harris as Javrice Thomas was going to the hole. And for Harris, we'll check it. That's his 3rd personal. 6th on the team. So it'll send Javrice Thomas to the foul line. 6'2" sophomore from Philadelphia. First attempt for Thomas is on the way and rolls out. Watch this again. And probably the right call there.
Yeah, Harris was moving at the time he took the hit. That's going to be called a block.
James Wright checks out. Sky Harris stays in with 3 personals. Thomas at the line for the second one is good. 50% from the line on that trip. Harris going to come back out, and Kyle Bradshaw comes in. Brookdale on the floor with Olakani, Ringel, Gatling, Bradshaw, and Kirkwood. Ringel in the paint. Bounce pass to Bradshaw. Now Gatling, nowhere to go. Olakani, who's been quiet from the field this evening, no good, but the shot clock resets as Kerry Kirkwood gets the rebound. Kirkwood thought about a 3, drives inside, pulls up at the foul line, is bumped, and he'll go to the line for 2. And now we'll see who that foul is on. It's going to be on number 10, Demir Smith. It's his 4th personal. He's going to have to come out of the game.
And he joins now Anthony Harris, each with 4 personal fouls.
So, hate to be the bearer of bad news for Philadelphia, but the odds are is that one of their players is most likely going to foul out. In comes Isaiah Jones, number 34 for Philadelphia.
But you know, the few players that they have brought here to Lincroft have played very well, keeping this a close game with Brookdale holding on to a 4-point lead.
And again, Philadelphia had 12-plus players on their roster to start the year, but they have slowly dropped like flies with injuries and just a lot of unfortunate situations that have had this team now really trying to make it the rest of the season with 6 players. Blocked away there by Ringel. Richardson, the 3rd chance opportunity on that possession, not able to convert. Gatling slips out of bounds, and a turnover there for Brookdale.
It's a very lonely feeling on the Colonials bench with only Smith taking one of the seats.
See the 2 assistant coaches, and then of course right next to them in the left portion of your screen, Coach Rome. Jones, floater, good for Isaiah Jones. It's a 2-point game. Brookdale better be careful here. They're allowing Philadelphia to hang around. Ringel, feed inside to Bradshaw. Reverse layup for Kyle Bradshaw is good. Wynn Goes around a screen. Now over to Jones. Thomas flips it over to Richardson, and Richardson inside is fouled. Coach Chuzak wanted a foul, or excuse me, rather wanted a traveling call on Philadelphia the last possession. And now at the line, Savon Richardson wearing those very fancy sports glasses. And I will say, I know what that is like. I played high school ball, and as someone who regularly has to wear glasses 24/7, I know it's not very fun to wear those things. They're like goggles. In fact, that's what they used to call me.
Is that
Trivia
right?
fact for you. They used to call me goggles. Yeah. Yeah. And that was the opposing team that called me that. Their teammates didn't call me that, but the opposing team got called me that.
That would have worked if you were swimming.
Yeah, well, those things, I will tell you from experience, and Zavon could probably tell you this himself, those things are so tight you practically could take them to go swimming. With it, they wrap around your head like that. Ringle the other way lays it in. And the fact that they would call me goggles would really irritate me, so it'd make me play a little bit harder, but that was something that I always feel for the guys. We have something in common, we know what that's like. Thomas, right on Bradshaw, floater, off the rim and in. 60-57. Philadelphia's hanging around. Olakani up ahead to Gatling, taken away by Wynn, who's on the baseline. So it'll stay here with Brookdale. There is Zavon. Now, of course, his are much more fancier than mine. Mine, I really should bring them in one of these days because they were pretty ugly looking, but they did the job. Instead of taking the chance of putting your contacts in and then getting them poked out, which we've seen many times in basketball over the years. Better to be safe than sorry. Thomas going to check out, in for Smith, who's got 4 fouls. Gatling tried to make a play and was falling down out of bounds. So, Brookdale, another turnover. Despite being in control, Brookdale's not played all that crisply in this game. They've had a lot of turnovers and have really not been as crisp as we're used to seeing them on offense.
Yeah, I would agree with that. After the first, say, 5 to 8 minutes where they were playing their sharpest basketball of this game, it kind of has gone downhill from there.
Fadeaway there for Wynn is an air ball. And now Kirkwood up the floor to Olakani, right on Richardson. Blocking foul on Richardson.
So this time the Jersey Blues get the call they were looking for with the block, and Olakani gets to go to the line.
So for Richardson, it's his first personal. 6'6" freshman from Philadelphia. By the way, all the players on this Philadelphia team are from Philadelphia. You may say, well, isn't that obvious? Not all the time with recruitment-wise, but the players that are suited up to play here tonight are all from Philadelphia. Coach Chizek looking on from the sidelines. And then, of course, on the other side, Coach Rome in his 5th season. Brookdale not able to come away with the attempt from the line that time, and it's a 61-57 game. Thomas right at Ringel, rolls off the rim. It was short. Thomas gets his own rebound. The fadeaway still doesn't go. Richardson now and Thomas are there. Ringel on the floor, still loose, and now a timeout is called, I believe, by Brookdale. And I think this is just going to be a 30-second timeout. So we'll stay here.
And that's an outstanding effort by Ringel, because twice he defended the jump shooter, and then he comes away with the ball on the ground and gets the timeout for Brookdale to keep possession in their favor.
So let's take a look at the standings. So the Region 19 Conference, I mentioned Brookdale, if they win out, will still be behind Passaic in 2nd place. They split the games with Passaic earlier this year, but those first 4 teams, if it were to end right now, would qualify for a first-round bye, if I'm not mistaken.
And it's the top 12 teams overall that will make the tournament.
Yes. Brookdale coming out of that timeout with Gatling, Olakani, Kirkwood, Ringel, and Bradshaw, while Philadelphia's on the floor with Anthony Harris, Keenan Wynn, Javrice Thomas, Demir Smith, and Zavon Richardson. Bradshaw was short on the attempt. Bradshaw and Olakani ran into each other trying to go for the loose ball. Brookdale comes away with it anyway. Kirkwood, nice feed to Ringel. Put it up, no good, but he's fouled. So Matt's going to go to the foul line. Foul is on Javrice Thomas, his 4th personal, to make that the 3rd player now who has 4 personals for Philadelphia in this game.
Yeah, and the fouls piling up for them. That's 8 team fouls of this half. And more importantly, as you've talked about, the key players on this Colonial roster are in foul trouble.
So Ringel hits the first one. 6'6" freshman from Marlboro, New Jersey. Comes in here shooting 63% from the line this year. Rattles home the second one. It's a 6-point lead for Brookdale now. Approaching 8 minutes left. Smith out to Harris. With a hand in his face, not able to convert on the 3. Gatling comes away with the rebound. Olakani right at Smith, blew the layup. I think he was expecting contact from Smith. Now it's stolen away here by Bradshaw, saved it out of bounds to Olakani. Goes right at the basket, does Olakani, and he lays it in.
And that play is made by Bradshaw. That was a tough save from out of bounds, all in one motion, gets it to Olakani, and he gets the shot to go in the paint.
Brookdale playing phenomenally. Another steal here for Olakani. All alone, throws it down with one hand.
And he can do that better than just about anyone on this team. Finish in transition with authority, that time on the right-handed slam.
Timeout Philadelphia. Watch this last dunk from Olakani. Nice. Nice ball control. We will keep it here and during this timeout. Again, 7:18 remaining as we take a look at the upcoming schedule for Brookdale. We have the game here tonight. Not much, yeah. We have the upcoming, the game here tonight. We have the game on Thursday for Ocean, and then there's one more on the schedule that was just added a few days ago against Middlesex on the 21st of February at Middlesex County College to close out the season. Both of those 2 games that you see, obviously the one here at Philadelphia and the one at Ocean, are at home. Brookdale will have one more final road game at Middlesex to close out the regular season before the Region 19 tournament officially starts on the 25th. However, most likely Brookdale will get a first-round bye, so they will not be playing until later on in the month.
Yeah, and the Middlesex game that is now the final game to close the season, that was originally supposed to be today, but got replaced with this Philadelphia game, which got moved in the schedule 2 different times. So schedule got a little different there for a while, but we got it under control.
So again, Tim Catafamo alongside Brian Gounsworth, our entire BTV crew, live here tonight from the Collins Arena on Brookdale TV, and also on our YouTube page. It's a 10-point lead for Brookdale. See if they can continue to hold this. Again, Philadelphia has hung around. Brookdale has not really been able to increase their lead, as a nice runner in the lane is good by Keenan Wynn.
Yeah, I mean, so many games that we do are pretty much over at this point. We're kind of searching for talking points, but this one has stayed relatively close throughout.
Yeah, the game that we did last Tuesday was a tight one against Union, where they only won by 1 point. But so far in this game, it just feels that Brookdale is being really, really careful and maintaining a lead, but not really increasing in any way. Ringel stole it away for a second. Now the ball's loose on the floor. Kirkwood and Wynn rolling around at midcourt, and it'll go back to Philadelphia. No, actually they're going to call a foul here on Kerry Kirkwood. I thought it was a jump ball, but because it is the 8th team foul, it'll send Keenan Wynn to the line. Let's take a look at this. Wynn was no good on the foul attempt. Not sure I really saw the foul there. Wynn now traveled. So the attempt from the line doesn't matter. Let's take a look at this again.
Yeah, when you're on the ground like that, it's kind of tough to determine who initiated the contact. Everyone's just going for the basketball at that point. Unfortunately for Kerry Kirkwood, he gets charged for the foul.
It's a 3rd on Kirkwood, the 8th on the team. But Philadelphia could not make the one-on-one opportunity at the line with Wynn count. Olakani now finds Ringel on the baseline. Kirkwood now pump fakes, backs out to Bradshaw. Right at the hole is Bradshaw, counted and one for Kyle Bradshaw.
That is a great finish by Bradshaw. Started out getting the ball at the perimeter, was able to pump fake the defender and then score in traffic.
And now we have a stoppage on the floor as Coach Shusak's going to take someone's old t-shirt and get out there and mop up what appears to be a wet spot on the floor. And now another towel's being thrown down there by Charlie Hawthorne, the assistant coach. I don't think I've ever seen that. Bradshaw at the line rather completes a 3-point play. 72-59, 6 minutes left here in the second. Brookdale looking to make it 6 games in a row and increase their win streak. Nice jumper there by Anthony Harris, nothing but net. 72-61.
Yeah, and Harris's shooting has been on display for much of this game.
And now we have a foul underneath on Gatling as he was going strong to the hole after the feed from the perimeter. And it'll send Teray Gatling to the foul line. The personal is going to be on Savon Richardson, his 2nd. And now Philadelphia is maxed out with team fouls. They'll be in the double bonus for the remainder of the game. Gatling's first attempt, too strong for the 6'5" freshman from Patterson. Gatling's second attempt, 1 out of 2. We've seen that a lot tonight. Really haven't seen too many 2-for-2 opportunities from the line, as Brookdale has struggled, along with Philadelphia from the line. Long 3 there by Smith is in and out. Rebound underneath put up by Richardson is no good. And now here comes Brookdale with some numbers the other way. Gatling barely was able to get it under control, then gets it over to Bradshaw, who lays it in.
Yeah, that was a tough angle on that pass from Gatling because his momentum was carrying him toward out of bounds, but he's able to slip it into Bradshaw, who makes the layup.
Harris threw it behind the back, lost it. And now Olakani ahead of the field lays it in with the right hand. And now the points are really starting to rack up here.
Olakani that time had Smith defending right behind him, but knew how much space he had and makes the layup in transition.
Dangerous cross-court pass to Harris, pulls the trigger on a 3, and he hits it. 2 for 2 now for Harris from behind the 3-point line. Lead is 13. Olakani splits the defense. Oh, and just threw the ball in between the iron and the glass, and it's stuck up there now. And Kerry Kirkwood able to knock it away. It'll stay here with Brookdale with a fresh 30.
Yeah, that normally depends on the possession arrow in the event that the ball gets stuck.
Gatling may have been fouled, no call, but lays it in. 79-64. Brookdale has now surpassed the average point total they average coming in per game at 73. Harris another 3. 3 for 3 now for Anthony Harris from way beyond the 3-point line. Gatling, the floater, rolls off the rim. Bradshaw, the tip-in doesn't go. And now Thomas up ahead to Harris, who's been hot from behind the three-point line. Lost it between his legs, and Wynn is fouled from behind by Ringel.
And just when Brookdale had opened up their largest lead of the game at 16, Anthony Harris suddenly got hot from the perimeter, made a couple of threes. So this game a 12-point game right now.
So at the line, Keenan Wynn. First foul shot up and good. We remind you that our home game that we were just talking about, we have the schedule up. The Ocean County game on the 16th is actually Pink Zone Night, which is going to be sponsored by the Student Life and Activities Group here on campus. Of course, February is Breast Cancer Awareness Month here at Brookdale, and free pink towels are going to be given out to everyone in attendance. Again, the men play at 5 and the women are at 7, so be sure to stick around for that. That'll be cool. Everyone have their own towel, maybe get some wave things going there as Ringel throws it down with one hand.
Brookdale's version of the terrible towels.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So again, that's the 16th on Thursday. So if you like a pink towel on Pink Zone Night, come out of the Collins Arena and be in attendance. The men play at 5 and the women at 7. Basket here at the other end. Coach Chizak not happy with his team's defense on that possession, and Coach Rome will burn another timeout. Down by 11, back to the Collins Arena with 3:04 remaining after this.
Planning a large-scale event or conference? Consider Brookdale Community College and its versatile Collins Arena. The Collins Arena is the premier venue for all kinds of corporate and community events. Live concerts and celebrity happenings, trade shows and expositions, sporting events and tournaments. The Collins Arena has countless layout options to meet your needs. Bring your next event to life at the Collins Arena at Brookdale Community College. Go to brookdalecc.edu/events and start planning your next event now.
Looking for quality higher education at an affordable price? You'll find it at Brookdale Community College, with locations in Lincroft, Freehold, Long Branch, Neptune, Hazlitt, and Wall, and online options that let you study anywhere. At Brookdale, you can train for a new career, earn a diploma, and transfer to a 4-year school hassle-free. Brookdale has small classes and approachable faculty, an honors program, academic support centers, a full student life experience, and nationally ranked sports teams. Visit brookdalecc.edu and start your success story today.
Back here in the Collins Arena, Tim Califano alongside Brian Goudsward. 3:04 remaining here in this game as Brookdale, again, as I said, trying to increase their win streak to 6. Philadelphia not trying to continue the streak that they've been on. They lost the last time they played on February 7th to Northampton, 79-67. So if they drop tonight's game, they will now have lost 2 straight. Bradshaw inbounds to Kirkwood. Full court press here now for Philadelphia. Gatling didn't have the numbers and wisely backed it out.
Yeah, and this is a team in Philadelphia, talking about them, that likely is going to qualify for the tournament. They've had a very good season, 7 games over 500, so even with the 6 players on their roster, they look like they will play postseason ball.
Olikani may have gotten away with an extra step, and now they're going to call Brookdale with tampering with that shot, so the basket, even if it would have gone in, is not going to count. Still an 11-point lead, though, for Brookdale, with under 3 minutes to play. Ooh, and Thomas, or excuse me, that was Jones, rather, got knocked down hard to the floor by Olikani. And that's going to be a foul on Olikani for sure. That'll be his 3rd personal. Let's watch this again, Brian. Going for the ball here, and just 2 players going for the ball. I thought Olikani may have run into Jones. So now Brookdale's in the double bonus. Both teams are maxed out with fouls. Jones hits the first one. And just one more side note on that game that I mentioned before we went away to the break with the pink towel night. The Superstars are going to be here at halftime performing. So this is this is turning into a major event. So you definitely want to be in the Collins Arena for this one.
You don't want to miss the Superstars. That is must-see action.
We may even have to televise that. That's how good this is going to be. Ringel count the basket and the foul. And for Wynn, I'm not sure if he's one of the players that's got 4 personals. It might be. We'll check. Now he's got 4. So he's now 1 away from fouling out. And at the line, Ringel completes a 3-point play. Anthony Harris pulls up, left it short. Kerry Kirkwood, who's been in, I would say, probably got to be 35 minutes so far tonight on just off the top of my head. He's been in the game basically all evening long.
Yeah, he really has quite a motor. He does not sit often, and his brother, who was dealing with an illness, missed the last game, has not seen any action here tonight as well.
Yeah, Keyshawn is on the bench, but has not come in. He was out with the flu last game. And speaking of players that are going to foul out, this is the first one for the Colonials as Javrice Thomas commits the last personal on the floor. He is now gone. So Philadelphia is going to have to finish out this game pending anybody else fouling out with 5 players. So Kirkwood hits the first one. And now into the game is Dante Whipple for Zach Olikani. And getting ready to check in as well is Young Lee. There he is. Speaking of shoes, he's got some nifty pair of Nikes there as well on the sidelines. And in he comes. Haven't seen too much of Young Lee this year, but one of the many freshmen on this team, 5'9" freshman from Morganville, New Jersey. Inside Wynn. Rebound to Richardson, rolls out. Richardson lost it, taken away by Gatling. And now Brookdale. Gatling's actually going to go coast to coast here and lays it in with the right hand for Teray Gatling.
I think Gatling looked to throw that one down with the right hand, but settled for the layup after he kind of lost the handle.
Harris, a 3 straight on is good.
Well, he has lived up to his offensive production. He's had a big game in what looks to be a losing effort.
He's had 4 threes here in the second half as Gatling drains the jumper there. Harris another 3. This time it's off the mark, and the rebound to Richardson. Back up with it. Count the basket and the foul as Richardson is fouled by, I think, Ringel. They'll actually get Dante Whipple, rather, with the foul. It's his first personal. And now Richardson at the line. 6'6" freshman. Comes in here shooting 65%. Rims out.
And of course, he was the one player who didn't start of the 6, but he's done a nice job in his role coming off the bench.
So under a minute left to play, Brookdale will improve to 19-8 overall, 16-4 in the Region 19 Conference. Ringo lays it in again underneath the basket, whereas Philadelphia will fall to 16-10 and 11-6 in the Region 19. Turnover there for Smith as he just lost it out of bounds. And for Philadelphia, it's going to be a long drive home. I don't think Brookdale's in really a hurry. Young Lee got a drive to the basket, had a shot blocked. Keyshawn Kirkwood, who's on the sideline, jumped off the bench, encouraging Lee. I think Young Lee wants to get 1 basket in before this game's over, and I don't blame him. Bradshaw, the jumper, off the glass, no good. And now Philadelphia pushing up the floor to Richardson, who throws it down with one hand. So Richardson, a little too late. And now Lee, guarded very tightly by Harris, but doing a nice job maintaining his dribble. And I think that's going to do it. Brookdale going to get the victory tonight. 6 straight games now. Brookdale has won. Final score, 92-79. Unbelievable job. This team has been on a roll the last several games, and they have just been playing so well. But really, this was a game where the team as a whole just didn't really have a whole lot of energy. We were talking about it pretty much all game. This was a game, we're coming off of the game on Union where it was back and forth, back and forth. Even Cumberland, the last game that we called on Saturday, was pretty up-tempo on both sides. But Brookdale in this game really didn't have much of an up-tempo offense, but yet they made it work. They scored 92 points.
Yeah, and it's another good offensive performance. It seems like during this winning streak now at 6 in a row, they've had really good offensive performances. A couple games scoring triple digits, a lot of games over the 90-point mark. So they've upped their season average over this streak. And again, a good job, even though, like you said, not their best performance, didn't have as much energy as usual, but still came away to put together a good performance. Again, not one player doing the job. That seems to be the case all season long. And this was a good offensive team they were going against, too, in Philadelphia, even though they only had the 6 players, as we talked about. But they did a good job defensively holding them under 80 and getting another win.
So Philadelphia, again, will drop to 2 games straight. That's their losing streak, while Brookdale will improve to winning their last 6 games. And they look ahead to Thursday's game, which will be here at the Collins Arena. And again, we mentioned it a moment ago, Pink Zone Night, giving out free pink towels in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month here at Brookdale. The
Superstars.
The Superstars will be playing at halftime, so it's definitely a big event that you don't want to miss, and that'll be our next game. The men will play at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Program a note there, whereas the men usually play at 7. They'll play at 5 on Thursday, where the women will play later on in the evening at 7 again against Ocean County College. So again, for Tim Catalfamo, for Brian Goudswood rather, I'm Tim Catalfamo, our entire BTV crew. Once again, final score, Brookdale wins 92-79 over the Community College of Philadelphia Colonials. We'll be back on Thursday. Until then, everybody, have a great night from the Collins Arena in Lincroft, New Jersey.
Considering stemming into the financial sector, the Brookdale Math Club hosted Brookdale trustee Gary Tolchin, who came and spoke to students about all things Wall Street and career opportunities for STEM students in the financial world.
That could be the difference between you staying in that company and you not staying in that company. Every time I'm at Brookdale, and I'm a trustee here for about 18 months, every time I'm here, I learn something, another positive event that happens here. A lot of people here with passion. They wanted to ask questions, and I think there's a big future for these young adults here. And I love coming here, and I love to go on events because I learn something new every time I'm here. And the professor, what a job he did, because he was in the stock market, so he helped me out a lot, and he was just as passionate as I was. So hopefully sometime in a STEM degree, whatever it might be, whatever avenue they take, they will have a future in it.
I thought it was really informative to really tell people in the STEM field how we could express ourselves not only in technology, engineering, math, science, and all that, but also into the business field of, doing some type of quantitative work in finance and such. Interesting to see how we could, have a different angle on not only what we do as a major, but, if we have other interests.
If you have a passion for what you want to do, whatever it might be, it won't be a job. It'll be a career that you love. And hopefully everyone comes out here and they could figure it out. And if they have any questions, they could always email the professor, and he could let me know if they have any other questions.
For more information, you can log on to brookdalecc.edu. I'm Laura Vetter. Thanks for joining us on Brookdale Television.
Sitting with someone one-on-one in a no-stress environment, that is how you learn how to do math. And Brookdale offers that with 6 full-time members that sit around the perimeter of the room. You come to them with your math or your test review questions, and they'll sit and they'll answer it with you. If you don't have your book with you, you can check out your book. And for most of the courses, about 90% of them, we also have the solutions manual. So you can sit and you can do the work with it, and it actually has the solutions worked out. There's a computer lab that we have that has all the software that you would need to complete any of the math courses here at Brookdale, whether it's statistics with Minitab or Maple Derive for your calc course. There's 2 quiet rooms that are usually open that you're free to use. It's across from where the faculty have their offices. You can, be a part of the math department very easily. So it's a great place to come and do your work in small groups. Math Lab is open 6 days a week, and all the hours are available on the site.
Tim Catafamo back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena, again wrapping up our coverage tonight. We're standing by with Brookdale Athletics Director Sean Noel, who's coming up to talk to us a little bit about the Region 19 tournament. We've mentioned it a couple times in this game so far, but it's coming up, Sean, and this is a big event, probably one of the biggest events that Brookdale hosts all year. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we're hosting the Region 19 tournament. We've hosted it, I feel like, since I've been here, 5 years, 6 years at this point. We didn't host it last year because we had the Women's National Tournament, so that was up at Northampton. But this year we'll be hosting it once again, March 4th and 5th. There'll be 4 games on the 4th, which is a Saturday. There'll be 2 women's semifinal games and then 2 men's semifinal games. And then Sunday will be the Region 19 Championship for the men's and women's. The winner of those go on to the respective national tournaments for the NJCAA. So it should be an exciting weekend.
And then, of course, as I said, this is a big event. You've talked about it being here since you've been here. But what do you think is probably the biggest draw with this event for not only the teams, but for the players and the fans that come out to the Collins Arena to witness it?
I think it's the level of basketball. Once you get down to those final, 4 teams on both sides, you're going to see good basketball, and you're going to see teams that are passionate, that are going to work hard and really want to be here. So you're going to see some of the best basketball that Region 19 has to offer on both the men's and women's side. And I also think, you look at the arena. I mean, the arena is something when people walk into, people are kind of in awe a little bit. I guess that's a good thing for Brookdale because we're kind of used to it. But it's just a great venue to host a tournament in. With the help of Brookdale Television, yourself, and the staff, we run a pretty good event. So we try to do.
Now, if people want to get interested, they want to come out to the event, how do they do that? They go on to brookdaleathletics.com, right?
Yeah, they can go on to brookdaleathletics.com. Like I said, it's Saturday, March 4th and Sunday, March 5th. Adults are $10, children are $5. Brookdale students are free with an ID. And, we hope to have a nice crowd. We usually do. Obviously, selfishly, I hope we're there. But either way, we're hosting the tournament. We'll run a good tournament. And right now, on the men's side, it's looking about somewhere around 12 teams will qualify, for the whole tournament. And on the women's side, it looks like there's probably around 7 or 8. So what happens is those first and second rounds are at the higher seed. And then it gets pared down to that Final Four weekend, which we'll be hosting, again, Saturday, March 4th, and Sunday, March 5th for the Region 19 Basketball Championship for the men's and women. So we're looking forward to it.
All right. Well, again, Sean Noel joining us. I want to thank you so much, Sean, for coming up here. And again, if you want to learn more about the Region 19 tournament, of course, coming out here to the to the Robert J. Collins Arena here at Brookdale Community College, you go on to brookdaleathletics.com. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you on Thursday when the Ocean County College team comes in here to play the men's and women's basketball teams at 5 and 7 p.m. Until then, have a good night from the Robert J. Collins Arena, and we'll see you on Thursday.